Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Harakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great milestone who rule well, and Shalom to all the brothers doing the work of Syrian truth. Just gonna go over this chapter because it's just in general with with the climate, with the times, as you see the intensity of things ratchet up. It's like being out here, obviously knowing the word, and then knowing, having been prepared for these times, as shit's getting real. It's like people in the world, I can see how everyone's gonna be jumping head first onto that mark, man, because they're all focused on Esau. They're focused on the world. These guys are invested, man. They're completely, they're carnally minded, man. For them, it's even with this thing going around. It's what do you call it, man? They're not looking at like from any kind of spiritual angle. Like there's any like it could possibly be a form of judgment. It's all carnally minded, and as such, that's why they've been taken for a ride by Esau, man. Yeah, I'll start 1 Corinthians 2:1. And I, brethren, when I came to you, came not with excellency of speech or of wisdom, declaring unto you the testimony of the Most High. Yeah, that's the excellency of speech. That's something that people fall for hook, line, and sinker. Because in the world, it's like if you're basically you're gonna go out, you're gonna push out certain things. They're expecting that suited and booted Edomite image, man. That Edomite presentation, which that's what Jake. Well, I say Jake. Everyone that gets within the society, within this system, within the beast system, they all want. They have to adapt and adopt to the mannerisms and the characteristics of Esau, man. Which is why they walk around in a suit and tie, jeans, t-shirt, and they're gonna come with the same energy. That Greek energy. So it says, but then what? It's when it comes to this word's raw and real. It's not nice. It doesn't it's not delicately delivered. It's just the truth, which is why it's like Yahushai's sheep hear his voice. For I determined not to know anything among you, save Yahushua HaMashiach and him crucified. And I was with you in weakness and in fear and in much trembling. And my speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of man's wisdom, but in demonstration of spirit and of power. Yeah, so that's the difference. Is what we're speaking. These words, they're not ours. We didn't piece these together. These things, we're a mouthpiece for the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That's why we speak out the scriptures, and then what we speak, it's we're talking according to prophecy. We're talking within the bounds of the book, because that's what it's about. It's Yahushai is that word, and we're coming in the stead of Yahushai. So then, as such, that's why it's like all we speak from is from the scriptures. That's why the prophecies we're pulling from the scriptures. Everything that we're breaking down, we're breaking it down through the scriptures. And then, as such, that's speak these words now is you speaking it in the world. People are gonna get very upset because now it's that world that's been conformed to Esau's standards, Esau's doctrine, Esau's philosophy. That's what you have out in the world now. Then as such, that's why people ain't really looking to get down with the scriptures. People are getting more and more upset with the Bible. That's why it's all these huge church structures that are part of Esau's system. One of them unclean frogs. They're these guys are letting women come in, which is completely off. Letting homosexuals into the church was all completely off. they're basically in the same spirit of the world. That's why they get accepted. They've got them enticing words, but then for us, what we're speaking through the spirit, and that's why there's a power. And why is there the power? Because, hey, what we're saying is the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and these things are gonna come to pass. Which that's where the power's at, because that's as soon as people see like, oh shit, it's okay, it's going down. Then it's yeah. Then all of a sudden people are down. They were, they'll give you some mind, but then really they're looking to Esau for that ease. It says what, verse 5, that your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of the Most High. Yeah, the wisdom of men, because that's what people of the world have faith in, and that's the thing where we've come out of, man. When before we came into Yahweh Shai, we're in the world, and then being in the world, didn't know what the hell was going on. Completely we were completely in the thing, man, philosophies of the world, worshipping the women, not adhering to the scriptures at all. Scriptures at all. Could have been smoking weed, doing drugs, doing all kinds of foul acts off in the world. Because why? You completely did not know what was going on. Didn't know the truth, couldn't break down the scriptures. You might have read the scriptures, but you didn't have the understanding. You would probably be reading it thinking of a bunch of white boys. That's the wisdom of men. But the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is what? Prophecy is a key part. Because that's you go through all throughout the scriptures. That's why they were called prophets, seers. Because they saw the vision, and they made it plain and recorded it. The Lord's men got the visions of the future of what was going to go down. Then as such, it's like, it was cold. Faith, not in the wisdom, but in the power of the Most High. Howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, yet not the wisdom of this world, nor of the princes of this world that come to naught. Yeah, wisdom. That's what speaking amongst the scriptures, speaking about the truth, about this word, and that's among those that are within Yahweh Shai. Because it says what but we speak the wisdom of the Most High in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom, which the Most High ordained before the world unto our glory. Yeah, hidden wisdom. This thing. That's why you go to what is it? Daniel 12 says what? Shut up the book. And then you go into Revelation 5, I believe, where it says like, hey, it has the book, and Yahweh Shai is the Lamb, basically being the only one worthy to unseal the book. That's these things have been hidden. That's why was it Matthew 13 9 and 10 it says what do you call it? I was like, what? Why speakest thou unto them in parables? That's why it's because given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. So it's only for those that are chosen, only for Yahweh Shai's sheep. Because it was going around, he was teaching to everyone. But then what? A lot of people were getting cursed out. A lot of places where Yahweh Shai went, they got cursed out, man. They got completely condemned. Why? Because when Yahweh Shai went there, they went down. They were basically like, it says what? They ate the loaves and were filled. Them man were down because they got a full belly, but they weren't down for the word. They didn't believe what Yahweh Shai was saying. And you got the few examples of those that did. And then, those men and women, that they through their faith, a lot of them were made whole, a lot of them were healed. Miracles were done because of their faith. And it says, well, even the hidden wisdom which the Most High ordained before the world unto our glory. Yeah, the hidden wisdom was ordained before the world. So who the elect was, that was set, man. That number was reserved from before the world was made. That's why it's with when Elijah was on the scene, him saying like, I'm the last one left. They saw out all your prophets, and I'm the last one left. And it was like, yo, Elijah, there's 7,000 men that won't bow the knee to Baal. Because why? There's the Lord has his men. They're reserved. They're there. And that's he's had them apportioned from before. It says, which none of the princes of this world knew, for had they known it, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. Yeah, that shows how the heathen aren't on a part of this, man. And Ezra 4:1 on down to, like, I believe verse 4 goes into it, man. How the heathen basically said, oh, we worshipped as well, we kept the same gods. Yo, come let us worship, let's build together. I was like, nah, we can't. You man, go do your own thing. We'll serve our power. And then, they came against Jake. That's why. And that's the history. That's what. It's Esau. Esau was the one that put Yahushua to death. And that's why you go to Revelation 1, it says what? Every eye shall see him. Wait. I might actually just get that. Because I don't want to thingy it wrong. Oh, yeah. Actually, I remember that correct. So Revelation 1:7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so on one. Yeah, so Yahushua is going to come back with clouds, as it says in Acts 1. Acts 1 and 9, I believe. It says, why stand you about gazing up? The same as you've seen him, where you've seen him go, that's how it return. So with the clouds coming in power. And that's what it says. Also they who pierced him, because why? Reincarnation. Those same Romans that pierced him, they were going to be back in the flesh. And now Yahushua is going to come and not meet them as a man. So he's going to be able to enact his revenge, man. That he wasn't able to do. When he came on the scene 2,000 years ago, he had an office, he had a duty to take care of, which was done. And now what? Now it's a different office. It's a different duty. It's basically taking the world, man. Time of judgment, man. So this is what so back in 1 Corinthians 2 and 9. But as it is written, I have not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which the Most High hath prepared for them that love him. But the Most High hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit, for the Spirit searcheth all things, yea, the deep things of the Most High. Yeah. So it's like, as far as with what's it called? With what's going to be going down in the kingdom, those things, all these things are a mystery unto those that are in the world, man. It's a mystery. They're not aware. They don't know. They've not been put on to what's gonna go down. By and large, people the thing is people in the world, just like with when Yahushua was on the scene. When Yahushua was on the scene, they weren't thinking like, oh, this is the Son of the Most High. We got to treat him carefully, man. Nah, they basically they were in power. They were just like they weren't taking it seriously, man. So, what are you, the king of the Jews? What's up? Like they weren't complete. They weren't dealing with anything on any kind of spiritual level. This is what these things, like what's gonna, the time to come, the kingdoms to come. These things have been revealed through the Spirit, because that's why we know it's in the scriptures recorded. How certain things are gonna be in the kingdom, and then what? Seeing these things, as prophets, for us, it's that thing's a reality. That's why we have faith that these things are gonna go down. Therefore, for us, it's like we're operating with the kingdom in mind, man. That's why I maintain that holy conversation about the kingdom, about what's gonna come, man. The reward that waits at the end. This place going down, because why? It's the heathen, they're not thinking about this place going down. It says in Revelation 18, them guys are going to be wailing. They're gonna be wailing because of the cash money, the merchandise, all the goodly pleasant things they get from America, man, from Babylon the Great. But what we're thinking about, our kingdom, which is going to be greater and more prosperous, man. You go into like Isaiah 60, the judgment as well. Isaiah 14, how we're basically going to get power over nations. Psalms 2, Revelation 2:25. All these things, these are the things that we're meditating on, and we can see. Why? Because we have faith. But then what? That's why okay, let me go. What is it? Verse? For man knoweth the things man says. Okay, no. So verse 11. For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of a man which is in him? Even so the things of the Most High knoweth no man, but the Spirit of the Most High. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit which is of the Most High, that we might know the things are freely given to us of the Most High. Yeah, that's why when you come into the truth, it's like the scales that were over Paul's eyes when he was going from Damascus, man. When he's going from Damascus and then got knocked down off the horse when Yahushua came and he was blinded. But then he meant, I think it was Ananias, I believe. And then the scales fell off after, and then, because after that, that's, the truth was revealed to him. So this is what, even so, okay. But yeah, that's why it's through that spirit, man. That spirit that quickeneth, man. That spirit that lets you get. Because it's not just like, we sat down. There's, it's not like we sat down and just with our carnal brains, just read the scriptures so many times and meditated on it so hard they were able to get. That's not how it goes down. It was you need a spirit to come and work with you. Because that's why it's like, thing is with the scriptures of all around the globe, man. There's hundreds of billions of copies of the scriptures all around the earth. But then what, has everyone got the what do you call it, understanding of the scriptures? No. Only the Lord's men have got that understanding. It's like I read quoted earlier, what it's given unto you know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it's not given. It's only given to a few through the Spirit. It says, "Well, which things also we speak not in the words which man's wisdom teacheth, but which the Holy Spirit teacheth, comparing spiritual things with spiritual." Yeah, we're not breaking it down carnally. We're not dealing with the truth like it's something carnal. We're talking about spiritual things, and we're in the Word, man. Because what? That's how you need to get that understanding, man. And it's that carnal thought process. That's gonna you're gonna get like all that science, all that Roman Catholic dogma, all these different all the confusion's gonna come in the midst. But then when you deal with the truth, you deal with the word. It's plain. Go to a Christian and ask a simple question. You're gonna get like 9 million answers, and they ain't even gonna be They ain't gonna be pulling from the scriptures. They're just gonna be waffling out the mouth. But then what? When you come out the scriptures, it's plain. It's straightforward. Comparing spiritual things with spiritual. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him. That's the thing as well. It's like, it's these things, especially with brothers being on dumping on the highest, on the highways and byways for years. The truth's been on the internet as well, on YouTube. The words dumb been out for years. Over a decade, it's been popping off. So it's really that's you've stumbled on it. Well, talking to Jake really, because Jake's the only one that can get anyway. But then what? 2/3 ain't down the cause. Then they've basically despised it. They just cast it behind like, yo, what's the profit in this? They look at it as foolishness. Like, oh man, they're just out in the street. It's like, yo, get money, fam. That's how they're gonna be looking at it, man. Neither can he know them because they are spiritually discerned. Yeah, these things are spiritually discerned. The Spirit needs to reveal it to you, for you to get these things, man. Because otherwise, it's like you can just read. It's like if you read Revelation, and the Spirit ain't working with you, you ain't got a teacher to break it down for you. Then you're gonna have no way of getting out all. And then as well, when you find out like, oh, America's gonna be destroyed, because these guys are in the carnal mindset, they're gonna be like, oh no, I don't want America to go. Their spirits, their carnal spirit is gonna is gonna what do you call it? Chafe against it, man. They ain't gonna accept it. It says, but he that is verse 15, but he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged of no man. Yeah, he the spiritual judge of all things. Cause we're being raised as what? As kings, priests, judges, rulers, governors. So that's why it's like that whole, and the thing is that spirit of the world as well is that what's it called? No, don't judge, don't judge anyone. Just let everyone do what they want to do. That's the wicked doctrine and philosophy of what's his face, man? Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley, man. That guy. That's his whole mindset and approach, where it was just do as thou wilt, do whatever the hell you want, get into all forms of wickedness and madness, and don't hold yourself off or limit yourself from any of it. And that's the spirit. That's that, not being judged. But it's like what? It's for the men of the Lord, because we're within Yahweh Shai. That's why you can't be judged, because we're abounding in the work, and the Lord's basically got us covered, man. We got the cloak of the cloak of grace, man. Grace is covering us. But that's these things are understood through the Spirit, because that doesn't then give you license to sin, because the way the church deals with it is like, oh, that's all done. That old covenant is all done. You can just now go and do whatever you want, and you can eat pork, commit adultery, all these things. Because why? Because for them there's no sin. But then you read Hebrews 8, the new covenant. It's what? It's putting the sins in your mind, man. Putting it salak. It's putting the laws in your mind. Putting the laws in your mind. For who have not known the mind of the Lord that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of Hamashiach. Yeah, that's it. We're got the mind of Yahweh Shai, man. Because that's we're all in one, we're all in accord, the same spirit. That's why it comes down to that spirit, man, the spirit of the Most High, which what gives you the understanding. Then in agreement, because that's what it is. It's the 144,000 and 1/3. They're gonna come in the same accord, man, in the same spirit, saying the same thing. Which is why, that's why it's like, that this church that you got, man, it's Christian. When you deal with a Christian church, them guys are saying any different church you go to, you're gonna get 117 different interpretations of the same thing, man. Them guys don't know what the hell's going on. But yeah. Oh. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshua, Shalom.